Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Several people sent me this story written by Jonathan Lopez at gmauthority.com. Cadillac Escalade owner gets warranty voided after refinancing vehicle. The man refinanced his vehicle and the warranty became voided as a result. And when I heard the headline, my first thought was, I know what happened. And it's not hard to guess. So the 2023 Cadillac Escalade V, of course, is a new supercharged vehicle. It's an iconic luxury nameplate, of course, and this full-size SUV now has sports car levels of performance. Naturally, the price of entry is steep. In fact, the Cadillac Escalade V is the most expensive Cadillac currently available. As such, one might expect an exceptional service and ownership experience, but hey, we're working with GM here, okay? Unfortunately, it's not the case for one Cadillac Escalade V owner whose warranty was voided after refinancing the vehicle. He refinanced it and they said, no, the warranty's been voided. So GM Authority was in contact with a customer who purchased a new 2023 Cadillac Escalade V back in September. He financed it through GM Financial. Okay, so GM Financial, technically speaking, is a separate entity from General Motors, but they do work together closely. A few months later, in January 2023, the customer refinanced the vehicle at a lower interest rate with someone else. He did not transfer title. So this is not a situation where the vehicle got sold. It's literally just, I found a better interest rate someplace else. I'm going with them now. Sometime thereafter, the customer began to have issues with the vehicle, headlined by a service four-wheel drive warning that was on the instrument panel, and there was also a related loss of power. After bringing the Cadillac Escalade V into the dealer to address the issues, the customer was informed that some of the vehicle's components required reprogramming. However, upon taking the vehicle in for service, the dealer advised the customer that the vehicle had a warranty block on it. So you go into dealership looks at it, goes, yep, you know something, there's something here we've got to work on. They type the VIN into their system, and it should come back with the history of the vehicle and what's been worked on before. And it came back and said, oh yeah, warranty blocked. So at this point, the dealership cannot do work on the vehicle and get it paid for by the manufacturer without removing the block. Otherwise, the customer's got to pay out of their own pocket. Before going any further, it bears mentioning that the Cadillac Escalade V is one of several high-demand vehicles that currently carry a time-specific ownership requirement in order to retain the vehicle. And there are cars like that where you will be asked to sign something acknowledging this. And I've actually reviewed these documents for a client before. Clients contacted me and said, Steve, the vehicle I ordered has been brought in, and now they're asking me to sign this. What do you think? And it's a contract. The contract says, in exchange for purchasing this vehicle for the money, et cetera, one of the things I promise to do as the buyer is I will not resell the vehicle for a year or some time period. And that is legal if you sign it as part of that bargain at the beginning of the transaction. So I've had people say, Steve, that's not fair. Well, you don't have to buy the car. Okay? So one of the things they can do to you if you breach the agreement is they can block your warranty. Famously, we heard about that wrestler who bought a Ford GT a couple years ago and had signed a document saying he wouldn't flip the vehicle. A little while down the road, he flipped the vehicle. And he got sued. And I remember at the time, people asked me about that one also. I said, can they really sue him for that? Yeah, it's breach of contract. He signed a contract. So this is pretty straightforward. But the difference here is that this guy didn't flip the vehicle. He simply refinanced it. So like the 2023 Chevrolet Corvette Z06, the GMC Hummer EV, the Cadillac Escalade V, owners must own their vehicle for at least 6 months before selling it in order to retain the warranty. So this is only a 6-month period, as opposed to I've seen them for a year or 2 years. So 6 months ain't that big of a deal, but it didn't happen here. It's the same guy. So GM put the stipulation in place in order to prevent bad actors from quickly reselling the vehicle for a large profit, practice known as flipping the vehicle. However, in the case of the GM Authority reader in this story, no ownership transfer took place. The model was simply refinanced. It was simply refinanced. He retained ownership, as we say. The dealer that took in the reader's Cadillac Escalade V for repair has since reached out to GM and Cadillac for guidance. As of this writing, it's been a week, and there's no resolution from either GM or the dealer. Customer tells us they've been chasing a dealer who in turn chases GM, but so far, nothing. According to the dealer, GM's system says this vehicle's warranty is blocked due to non-retention. So it specifies non-retention. The situation has to be frustrating, especially considering the vehicle cost $150,000. $150,000. So GM Authority is going to continue following the story. But in the meantime, you can subscribe to them. They do great work. They're one of the places that often breaks stories like this. And they always have around-the-clock GM news coverage. And they cover all kinds of stuff about Cadillac Escalades and GM Financial and so on. So what happened here is quite simple. This vehicle was sold with a stipulation that the buyer agreed to not sell the vehicle within 6 months. And that clearly is describing him passing the vehicle along to someone else. Some people are going to ask, when you refinance, technically, aren't you selling the vehicle to yourself? No, you're not. Sorry. So he signs an agreement saying, I will not sell this vehicle within 6 months. And within 6 months, he refinances the vehicle. So GM Financial discovers, oh, this loan just got paid off, presumably because the vehicle got sold. And they shouldn't presume, but they presumed that. So they said, oh, vehicle got sold. And by the way, it probably wasn't done by a human. It's probably done by a computer command that simply said that when this vehicle enters your system, if it leaves the system, the financial system, within 6 months, flag it so that Cadillac can block the warranty and the whole plan comes into place. And so that's what happened. I guarantee that's what happened. So the guy refinances the vehicle, GM Financial goes, oops, refinance, boom, and it got sent over here and the warranty got blocked. Now here's the problem. There ought to be a way where a human can enter the system, just like the movie Tron, and enter the system and say, oh, this vehicle did leave this system, but it's still owned by the same guy. As long as the contract doesn't say he cannot refinance within 6 months. I don't think it would say that. I can't imagine it anticipating that. I'm not even sure that'd be illegal. But I have, like I said, reviewed contracts like this for clients of mine. And I've had clients buying some of these high-end vehicles where they are asked, here, sign this, and there's a time period within which you cannot sell the vehicle to somebody else. And I've read them, and I don't recall ever seeing that you cannot refinance the vehicle. It simply says you cannot sell the vehicle within this time frame. And different companies handle differently what will happen to you. Some of them simply say you're going to be liable to us for damages. We can sue you. And that open-ended threat is, to me, scarier than having your warranty blocked. But, so it's a weird story with such apparently simple answer that it does make me wonder, is there something else going on here? I don't know, but I can see how this could happen, and it ought to be easier to fix. But I can also tell you, I've dealt with people from Ford, GM, and Chrysler now for 31 years. I've spoken to people in the legal departments at those companies for 31 years. And I actually know people who are the successors to people who are all the way back. And there are some situations where I'll get somebody in the legal department, a lawyer that I know very, very well, and say, here's the problem we're trying to resolve. Can we do it? And I've had a lawyer actually tell me, yes, it can be done, but it's going to take a few weeks. Really? Yes, unfortunately. One of the things about General Motors, it's a huge corporation with a huge corporate structure, with all kinds of different departments, all kinds of people working there, and all kinds of procedures, and layer upon layer and layer. It's a nightmare of bureaucracy. It makes the federal government look streamlined. Okay, and so there can be people inside GM looking at this, going, "Okay, we know what happened. We can fix it. It's still going to take a few weeks." So this should end well, but it might not end for a few more weeks. That's what I'm saying. So we'll see. But Jonathan Lopez wrote a great story for GMAuthority.com. Cadillac Escalade V owner gets warranty voided after refinancing vehicle. Mark, Donna, Jay, Peter, Larry, and Caleb all sent it. Thanks a lot. Questions or comments, put them below. Those will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. I'd rather be linked out instead of linked in.